And 3, 2, 1. Brittany Hibdon, welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you?
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I am doing fantastic. How are you?
Yes, I am amazing. So we were sitting, as I call the green room. Most people don't. I do because I'm weird. Uh, we were talking about all the things we were going to talk about, which is 2020 craziness, homeschooling. You have two beautiful boys that are sitting behind you in the pictures, which I absolutely love. I have
Thank you.
one child, and it's controlled chaos. It's like the bedroom is like Chernobyl. I want to know what it's like having two children that you were having to deal with during this crazy time, plus being uh, a, a workaholic from what I hear. You put everything of your time into your business. If everyone doesn't know, she is the owner of, owner of Hibdon Auto Center,
Co-owner.
co-owner of Hibdon Auto Center here in town. I want to know what makes you tick. Like, there's got to be some secret. You were always happy. Like, how? How does that happen? What do you do?
Aw. Probably not 100% of the time, but I do try really hard to stay positive.
Especially in crazy times
Uh,
like this.
Oh, yeah. I feel like, man, this year we have needed positivity and encouragement more than ever before.
Yep,
So I've worked really hard to make sure that I stay in the right mindset, and then that way I can encourage and project that to other people too.
you think that's the trick? You think that that is just being positive and trying to not let the people that are negative around you bring you down as well?
Yeah, I think that's a huge part of it. First of all, kind of protecting your circle. Like, I'm pretty careful not to spend a lot of time with negative people because I don't want it to impact me. And then also, yeah, I think that, our mindset is a choice and it's something that we get to work on and build. And so I try to be purposeful about that and, choose to be happy, choose to be optimistic, choose to look on the bright side of things because there's always something.
There is. And I noticed too, you surround yourself, especially in the work environment, with positive people. I love your guys' Facebook posts. If you guys haven't had an opportunity, go over and check out their Facebook page. They are, it looks like you have a gang that is just open for friendliness, happiness, always, positive and everywhere from the mechanics to the salesmen. It looks like you guys have a really good crew.
Thank you so much. We really do. I've got a fantastic team. And, I've always been a really strong believer in that, you have to enjoy what you do. You got to enjoy the work that you do. You got to enjoy the people that you're with. I mean, a lot of times we spend more time with our work family than we do waking hours at home with our home family. And so, man, if you don't enjoy it, you're probably at the wrong place.
Oh, absolutely. Was it hard
Yeah.
being, is it okay to say that, the car dealership it's kind of a man's world? I mean, is it, I mean, it's not like that anymore. I'm sure it's changed, but like, was it hard at first to kind of get yourself in there and let people know, hey, I actually do know what I'm talking about?
Yes, and sadly, I have to say it still kind of is a man's world. It's becoming less, but it's definitely an interesting business to be in as a female and especially as an owner. You asked earlier, yeah, co-owner, my husband Sean and I own the business together, and I run the sales side of things. He takes care of our reconditioning and getting all the vehicles ready in our service department. And we just celebrated 10 years in business. And I can tell you, even in the last 10 years, the dynamic with women in the automotive world has shifted a little bit. When I first started, it was pretty interesting. I spent several years at the auto auctions being the only female out of hundreds of men bidding on cars, or maybe one out of like two or three girls out of hundreds of men bidding on cars. So it's a man's world for sure.
Yeah. And I think too, you're paving the way for other people, you know.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You really truly are. I did
Oh,
a
thank you.
I was in the destruction derby, and I remember going to a auto parts store, and I walked in, and I said, I need something for such and such, from my car. And they looked at me and they said, well, what time does your husband get off work? And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm running it. I just stripped that thing by myself. And you know what? I know exactly what I need. And I turned around and walked out. I couldn't believe it. And it was something so, that it wasn't meant to come out like that, but it just did. It was habit. It's total habit. And especially living in a rural town,
Oh yeah.
that's different. So how have you guys been doing with during this whole pandemic? How has it been happening with have you noticed the sales kind of helping a little bit, people being at home and being able to not being able to go very many places, so they get in their car and probably thinking, this is junk, let's go get something good.
Yeah, it's been a very interesting year. We've had a lot of ups and downs. Kind of feels like we're on a roller coaster. At first, when people first had to stay home in March and April, we had just a massive kind of surge of people visiting our websites. And I think just like you're talking about, they're sitting at home and they're thinking about where they can go and what they can do. And, with COVID going on, the like mass transit, buses and planes and that kind of thing just didn't feel as comfortable. And people wanted their own transportation to be able to go where they want to go. So we saw a big spike over the summer, especially when the stimulus package came.
Oh yeah.
That was fun for everybody. We got to help a lot of people go home in nicer, newer cars. And then kind of some ups and downs over the fall, but overall, it's been a very fun but challenging year, I would say.
Mm-hmm. So is there any 10 years is a lot. I mean, that's a long time, and that's a good run. I mean, that's when you know that you're ingrained in this town. Is there any funny story or any person that you sold to where you thought, I will never forget you as long as I live?
I don't know if we have enough time on this show.
I always have that one client where it's like beauticians were that way. We always say, do you remember, a funny story that you had? And I was like, oh yeah, let me tell you. I've been doing this for 25 years and well, no, 20, it'll be 24. But you always have that one client where you're like, wow, I will never forget you as long as I live. You will be ingrained in my head. Her name's Thelma, by the way, if anybody wants to know.
What's that?
Her name's Thelma, if anybody wants to know.
Oh.
She's amazing.
Aw. Yeah,
know.
we've definitely had some characters in here that I will never forget. And then we've also had just some incredible human beings, and we're really kind of blessed with being in a unique industry where, a lot of times a vehicle is a person's largest purchase that they ever make. And so being able to impact somebody's life in a big way, things that come to mind are like after the campfire, being able to help people replace the vehicle. And then that vehicle in that moment, that was all that they had because they just lost everything. And, I remember a few families where they bought a vehicle and then told us that that's, where they were going to be sleeping that night. It was in their new vehicle. And when you can make that big of a contribution to helping someone move their life forward, that's just huge. That gives us fuel and purpose to get up and keep coming to work every day.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And especially times like that, I mean, I think everybody, when you buy your first vehicle, you always sit there and go, gosh, I'm really killing it at this adulthood,
Yeah. Oh, first time buyers are so much fun because they're just like over the moon excited and, proud of themselves for doing it by themselves. And little plug, we do have a really good first-time buyer program. So we've been able to help a lot of younger kids that maybe don't think they can do it by themselves. And we show them, how that's possible. And those are really enjoyable deals to do.
Mm-hmm. I know we were driving down the road yesterday and my daughter was in the back seat and your commercial came on. And if anybody, you have the most, everybody knows exactly who you are as soon as it comes on. And she turned to me, I looked at her in the mirror and she goes, Mom. And I go, what? She goes, you're going to have Brittany on. She's famous. I hear her all the time.
Aww.
So cute. She's all, I love it. And she knows all the words to it. She will go, hi, I'm Sean. I'm Brittany. And She goes through the whole thing. And that's coming from a 10-year-old who doesn't remember to, brush her teeth half the time, but she knows your commercial.
Oh, that is awesome. I love it. Sometimes we'll get kids in the showroom that, they want to meet us and then they'll recite their commercials to us. And it's a lot of fun.
It's a blast. It's an absolute blast. Well, speaking of
Uh,
kids, you got two boys. How have you been? Are you homeschooling? How old are they?
We are, yeah. So we've got a 12-year-old and a 10-year-old, and
Whoa.
we actually were really lucky. They've homeschooled their whole lives.
Oh, you're
And
lucky.
so when COVID hit, it really wasn't, in that respect anyway, it wasn't a big deal. They didn't skip a beat. My mom has been a huge part of homeschooling them for forever, ever since preschool. And then Sean, my husband's taken on a lot of it in the last year or two. And so we just kind of shifted into staying home more and kept doing school, and it's all worked out pretty smoothly. It's been neat having that background. And actually, I was homeschooled too when I was a kid. And so we've been able to kind of reach out and help a lot of families that were trying to navigate through how that was going to work
Mhm.
over the summer as everybody was kind of freaking out about school. So it's been good.
So, what's the best advice you can give somebody like me who is failing fifth grade as we speak right now? Fifth grade math, actually. Uh, we
Mm,
actually got a note from the teacher saying, please do not help your child. Let her figure it out because she is not, I know that it's not her doing this. It is you.
oh,
I'm like, oh, gosh,
oh boy.
I know. In fact, they asked, they
Too
said, what can we
funny.
do to make it easier? I'm like, well, unless you let her come to school in a t-shirt and underpants wrapped in a blanket, sitting in front of a computer, I don't know what else we could possibly do because this isn't working for us. Whatever
Right.
this is, it's not working. I'm glad they're in school, but now that we're starting to come back, we've dropped down to another tier. It's kind of nerve-wracking. Like, I don't know how you do it. Is it scheduling? I mean, are you guys pretty tight ticklers on the whole scheduling thing, or?
No, in fact, you're asking like what piece of advice would I give? And I think especially in this season, because there's a difference between, homeschooling as a lifestyle and being forced to do school at home because of a pandemic. And so my biggest advice would just be to take a deep breath and, give yourself and your kids a break. It's one semester or maybe 1 year out of their life. And if they are healthy and happy and safe and learning at their own pace, whether that's fast or slow, that's okay. The rest of it will come. And I think there's just been too much stress around this subject. It's not the end of the world if it takes them a little bit longer to figure out fifth grade math. So
Oh,
that
absolutely.
would be my encouragement to you. It's going to be okay.
Gosh, I don't know how you do it with two. I only have one. Like I said, a room looks like Chernobyl. I'm failing fifth grade math. There's always something going on. It's like, holy crap. And then they go from, they kind of reach that point where they're too young for boys, but too old for toys, or too young for girls, but, like they're in that moment where they're starting to judge you. Like mine's judgy. I don't know about your two. I don't know if it's different with boys as it is with girls, but she's very, very judgy. Like I'm a nerd in her group. And
Aw.
I used to be really cool. And now she
Yeah.
looks at me like I'm that one friend that you have to take that your parents force you to. That's the crappy part.
Aw, that's too funny. My 12-year-old is starting to get a little bit like that. I'm really bad about rolling my eyes a lot. It's just kind of a subconscious habit, and he's started doing the same thing. So, I get the eye roll and my mom.
Uh, that is the worst. Whenever you
Yeah.
see what you do come out in them, you're just like, oh wow, my kid
Yeah.
is gonna
Like,
have make horrible
oh.
decisions and have a bad disposition, and this is what's gonna happen.
Ah, no, it'll be fine. We turned out okay, right?
Hey, it is how I turned out halfway normal, which everybody will probably say, no, that's not true. I will never know. My mom was a total hippie, so everything was just like, eh,
Oh.
it's a long way from your heart. You'll be fine.
There you go. See, take some of that. It's gonna be fine.
It's just to relax. So what are your guys' plans for Thanksgiving? Are you guys gonna do the whole no, less than 10 people? Are you guys being by yourself? What's the plan? Anything good?
Well, I am the oldest of 7 kids in my family.
Whoa.
And I know, my parents always wanted to have a big family, and so they did. And of course, now all 7 of us are kind of scattered all over. So I think 4 out of the 7 of us are going to be there and getting together at my parents' house. So we're keeping it small for us, but it's going to be more than 10 people because there's a lot of kids.
Can you not? I know. We're gonna have a memorial service for our turkey that died. So that's how we're gonna get away with all. It died unexpectedly with a red
Oh,
button
that
on the
is
side.
so sad.
It's horrible. Who knew? I didn't even know he was sick. It was very sudden. I'm pretty sure it was COVID. I'm not sure. I'm pretty positive. Wow.
Oh, that is
7
funny.
kids? Holy crap. How did 7 kids? That is
Yep.
insane. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Like, did you, like, was it like at Christmas time, was it just controlled chaos at any holiday?
Pretty much. Yeah. We actually, my mom's very organized, and we kind of got into a routine where we would take turns giving gifts. So instead of everyone just opening up all of their gifts at once, we'd start like, so, I'm the oldest, so I'd give a gift to one of my siblings, and then the second oldest would give the gift to one of the siblings, and kind of made it take all morning because there's so many
Yeah.
of us, but it also made it more special and not so chaotic. So those are really fun memories.
Wow. 7. I could
Yeah.
not even fathom. I don't think, and I think I'm not even, are you pretty organized? Are you an organized person? Are you?
I am. I definitely take after my mom with that. I constantly have like my yellow notepad with my lists, and everything goes in my calendar. I I have to operate that way, otherwise it would be very stressful.
Yeah, we would not be well together in Amazing Race. I am not good at that. In fact, I go to the store hungry 9 times out of 10. And then I come,
Ah,
yeah, a
that is
10 pound,
dangerous.
yeah, 10-pound bag of buffalo wings, like a gallon of blue cheese. And I'm like, I forgot toilet paper. Wow.
Well, there probably wasn't any on the shelf anyways, so you're fine.
What is the deal? What is going, did you guys get caught up in that crud?
It's hilarious. We've done Amazon Prime Pantry for a lot of years, and somehow Sean had said it. We get toilet paper and paper towels and paper plates and like all the normal stuff. And somehow we had it set on too frequent of a delivery setup. And so when COVID hit, we actually had this big stockpile because over the last year we'd been getting the deliveries too frequently.
Oh,
So we were actually in a position where I was able to say, hey, if you need it, we got it.
hmm well, I say this every episode. We bought a bidet, and that was the best purchase I had ever made in my entire life. I was mad. I'm not gonna lie.
Right.
Upset at my husband
Yeah.
for buying it first off. Then COVID hit, and I had to eat my words. And he just like, "I'm amazing, correct?" Like, I mean,
Oh,
it tastes
that
like
is
vinegar,
funny.
but I said it. I said it. I
Yeah.
did. I did. Ugh. So, how long have you guys been married?
16 years.
Six.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Wow.
Yep.
How is it
Long
working
time.
together? Is it pretty, like, do you guys kind of go to your corners? Because you guys sound amazing on the radio, which I know that there's a radio
Aw.
voice and then the other voice, like, if you don't pick up your clothes, I'm going to slice your neck in the middle of the night. I've worked with
Yeah,
families.
we definitely have those voices.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, it works pretty good. We really kind of just have the stay in your lane rule, and he does his thing and I do my thing, and we support each other. And 9 times out of 10, that works really, really well. It's when we have to sort of like cross over into each other's departments that sometimes there can be a little bit of friction, but I
Yeah.
think that's natural and we just kind of work through it.
I worked with my mother for 22 years.
Oh,
And
wow.
when I
Yeah.
say this, you will know what I mean. When you work with family and they come in the morning at a certain time and you see the way that they're standing there, you know whether or not it's going to be a good morning. Like you just know.
Yes.
Body language is key.
Yeah, it really is. And it can be helpful too. You kind of figure out like, do I say good morning or do I not?
Yeah. Most of the time I did not. I walked
Ah,
away. I wanted nothing to do with it. I was out. I was done. I didn't want anything to do with her. And then when she quit or whenever she retired, I missed her. And it's weird what you do.
oh yeah. I
Hmm.
bet. That would be weird. That's a lot of years to work together. Very cool.
And I'm not an alcoholic, Brittany, which is weird. I don't understand how that happened. I don't get it. Wow,
I'm
16 years.
impressed.
That is insane. So I saw on your thing, you guys are looking for trucks. What
We
is the deal?
are. Oh my goodness. That is one of the challenges that COVID brought to us this year. So early on, like back in April, the new car factories shut down, a lot of them all over the world. And some of them were shut down for like a couple months. And so what happened was the new car production was halted. So the new car dealers were not getting their normal shipments of new vehicles. And so they started buying all the nice late model vehicles that I usually buy and other dealers like me. And it kind of created a, a supply and demand issue where there were more people wanting the same type of car than there were cars available. So prices went up and it got really crazy for a little while. And anybody that lives here in town has probably noticed there's less vehicles on my lot over the last 6 to 8 months than there normally would be. And it's just been a challenging season for getting inventory. And trucks are always the hottest item, especially in NorCal. And so, yes, I am looking for trucks. If anybody's got a truck they want to sell, I want to buy it.
I
Yeah.
never ever would have thought that. Like
Isn't that
whenever,
weird?
yeah,
Yeah.
I
You don't
never,
think about all the things that are connected. So even stuff like auto parts, there were factories that were shut down, and so there were delays with auto parts. And then, we're seeing that on our grocery store shelves, where it's bizarre in a first world country to not know for sure if something is going to be on the shelf when you go to the store. But everything just kind of has a domino effect, and it's played out in some surprising ways this year.
I could not believe it when I heard that. I was like, really? That makes, I cannot believe, what are people doing? Just going and grabbing all of them and then not leaving for anybody else? Like, that's insane to me. I
Yeah,
never thought there'd ever be a truck shortage in Orland. Like, that's kind of like,
I know.
there's, you know, it'd be like running out of tri-tip in this town. That doesn't happen. That
Right.
doesn't compute at all.
Yeah.
Good Lord. Well, I
Yeah.
am totally excited. I hope that everybody listens to this. If you guys have a truck, make sure you guys get it in there and do something about that. So is there any good deals
Absolutely.
going on that anybody knows other than the truck situation? You guys are making it easier for kids to come in, get their first vehicle and all that fun stuff?
Yeah, we really specialize in helping solve transportation problems. So, if it's a first-time buyer that doesn't know if they can get approved, if it's somebody maybe that's still paying on another vehicle, but that vehicle doesn't meet their needs anymore, if they're concerned about their credit, if they're looking for something specific that they can't find, whatever it is, we are really in the business of providing solutions, and that's what we enjoy doing. So if you've got a problem, we want to help you figure it out. And on the truck thing, it's been interesting. So we've been getting them in, but then because there's not a lot anywhere, the minute a truck comes in, it is gone. So if you are looking for a specific truck, definitely let us know, because you might never see it hit the lot. We've got like a list of people who want certain things, and we had a Toyota Tacoma last week, and probably had talked to like 40 people that were interested in it. And the minute it hit the lot, the first person to get here got it, and it was gone.
Really? That is
Yeah,
incredible to me. I cannot
it's
believe
insane.
that is
Yeah,
insane. Has there
yeah.
ever been a vehicle that came across the lot where you're like, Sean, we're taking that home. I don't care what you do. I don't care how you fix it. I want it now. Has there ever been a vehicle like that?
It's funny, but it's not. People will ask me, you're in the car business. How come you don't get
Yeah.
all like excited about cars? But I'm in the people business.
Yeah.
I love my staff. I love being able to provide jobs. I love helping people grow and develop as leaders and human beings. And then I love being able to help our customers and provide solutions for them. And to me, the car is kind of just the tool for all of that to happen. And so I think I'm kind of the weird one. Most people in the car business are, gearheads, but
Mhm.
for me, it's just about the relationships.
Yeah, I would be. I never really cared about cars. My first car that I got was from my parents. It was a Plymouth Reliant, and I drove that thing so much that every time I turned right, the horn would honk, and I never wanted to get rid of it. I wanted to keep it, and everyone's like, "Yeah, it's time to kill the goose. Like you gotta
Oh,
get rid of it." And then I got a Durango, and yeah, it got to the point where if there was ever a zombie apocalypse, we could live for days, seriously, on the crap that was on the bottom of that car. Like during this pandemic, I'm sitting there going, "Can I have that Durango back? I could really use a Mento." Like when everything
oh,
was,
that is funny.
I hated it. But yeah, I never really cared about cars until I got my car, and I absolutely adore it. I never really, as long as it had four wheels and drove, I didn't care. It didn't bother me. Now, however, I wouldn't be able to be in your position. I would be,
Yeah,
I want it. I want it now. Yeah. That
very
would,
fun.
yeah. So test driving does nothing for you. Like you don't want to get in like the fast cars and go down the road. No.
Not really. I when you've bought and sold and touched and looked at and sat in thousands and thousands of cars, it's they all kind of just start blending together.
Like it's just another vehicle. It's got four wheels. It's
Right.
fine. It's totally fine. But like I said,
We
I
both
love seeing it. What's that?
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say, Sean and I both drive inventory. We're paying on, insurance and all the things for all these vehicles, so we don't have like our own vehicles. Personally, we just drive inventory. And I've been on this string probably for about 2 years now of Ford Edges. I like them. They're comfortable. They're just the right size. So I just kind of rotate colors and drive one Ford Edge after another.
I used to have a girlfriend that
That's
did that. Yeah. She'd
that's
get
how
the
boring I
exact
am.
same car. Every single time, it never failed. She would always get the exact same car, and I never understood that. I never got it. I'm like, don't you want something different? She's like, no, it works. It's fine. So she'd
Yep,
get a red one, she'd get a green one. Now, is your husband a gearhead? Is Sean a gearhead, or is he?
he is. Yeah. Now, if we get in a cool truck, he wants to drive it. Like, and he likes the fast cars too. It's just me. I'm the weird one.
He seems like he's enthusiastic on the commercials too. Like, was that hard?
Yes.
I did a commercial once with Grant Carmen here in town for the canine department.
Oh
We used the same exact place that we went to. I don't, I don't know how you did it. Like, how many takes do you do? Do you do a lot of those?
we do have to do a few. So in the beginning, it was horrible. Like it was awkward, and we were nervous, and we'd have to, be there for like an hour and a half doing a million takes. And now we were actually just there this morning recording our December radio ad.
Oh,
And we got it done in 2 takes, but the second take we were like, yeah, you know what, we could do better. So then we did a third take, and then that was it. So we usually knock them out, including editing with the producer, maybe in 30 minutes.
Are you serious?
Yeah, but that's, almost 10 years of practice.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
it took
Grant
us
and
a
I,
while to get that fast.
Grant and I were swearing we were going to kill each other. Like I wanted to rip his nostril hairs out. I hated him by the time it was done. And the
Oh,
only
he's
way
such a nice guy.
it was awful. And he kept going, do it more. I remember him saying, do it more like Brittany. I'm like, she's a professional. I do hair for leave me alone. Like I can't do this. And I kept saying, I am not a dancing monkey. Leave me alone. I am not going to perform. So we
Oh,
fought
that is
for,
funny.
yeah, probably we fought for the first 30 minutes and then we got into it and that worked. So yeah, but you
There
guys
you
just
go.
seem so happy all the time and I love it. I think that's important.
Oh,
I really truly do.
thank
I love
you.
your guys' customer
Yeah.
service. I think it's great. I think you guys really got something going on and I think it's awesome. So I really appreciate it. And so I want to let everybody know, excuse me, is there anything else is there anything good that you want to plug? Any good deals? Any Thanksgiving, Christmas, anything good?
Yeah, well, Friday and Saturday we've got a big Black Friday sale going on, and
Nice.
we'll be doing some new stuff in December. So be listening for the December radio ad. But we're always here to help.
You guys are awesome. Well, hey, I want to let everybody know, if you guys haven't had a chance, I want you guys to head over to 246 East Street, or yeah, 32 East
East
Street,
Walker.
East Walker. You guys are open
Yeah.
Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and you guys are open Saturdays too from 10 to 5. I didn't know that. I had no idea.
Yes, yeah. Our sales department's open every Saturday. Service department is closed, but if you're looking at vehicles, we'd love to see you. We're here every single Saturday.
You guys are awesome. So yeah, and number 865-55800.
Yep,
Yep,
you got it.
gotcha. All
And
right.
don't forget, se habla español.
Se habla español. That was what my daughter got too.
All the kids remember that one.
That is the one thing they remember. Well, hey, everybody, this is Monica with No Conditions. I want you guys to, if you get a chance, I want you to head over to the Hibdon Auto Sales Facebook page, give it a like, and say hello to Miss Brittany and Sean. And also, too, if you guys want an opportunity, get onto the No Conditions page. You guys can find us on Facebook, Instagram. If you have any questions, you can email me at noconditions2020@gmail.com. I am on the Steve and Monica Show Tuesday and Thursday live every single week. And yeah, so hey, thank you so much for coming out. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. And yeah, I hope to do this again. This was fun. Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah, lots of fun. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. All right, everybody. I'm with Brittany Hibdon. Give it a chance. Go ahead, give it a thumbs up, a like, and let me know what you think. Talk to you soon. Bye. Yay!
Oh, that was super fun.
Wasn't that fun? Love
Yeah,
it.
very cool.
All right.
You're